Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is the 23rd of August. There are 3 games in the association on this beautiful Saturday. We're going to jump right into them. Hopefully you guys made some money yesterday. Quick recap for me. I didn't play yesterday. The short list was 2-1. The Valkyries game stayed under against the Mercury. The over in the Indiana Fever and the Minnesota Lynx game. Thought that Minnesota would, let their foot up off the pedal a little bit on defense, and they scored 90 points. So that was an easy winner. And the loser would have been the Dallas Wings, who scored 65 points last night against Seattle. Seattle actually playing a little bit of defense now that they're on the road. So hopefully you guys made some money. I did not bet anything in the WNBA for yesterday. Got a couple minutes, I guess, more than I had the other day. So we will go through Jackson really quickly. Jackson is an AI sports betting tool that you guys can utilize to handicap player prop size totals, NBA, NFL, WNBA, soccer, Premier League, whatever it is that you're looking for, right? So today's prompt is, what are the 2 best WNBA player props for today and why? Jackson likes Tina Charles over her 13.5 points. I actually like this look a lot as well. So it says the line is -122 on FanDuel, and she's been a consistent scoring threat, especially in recent outings. She's hit the over 60% of her last 5 games, averaging 15.6, and an impressive 70% of her last 10 games, maintaining that 15.6 point average. Looking further back, she's cleared the line in 73% of her games in the last 15, averaging 16.9, and 65% of her last 20. Her season average of 16.12 is also above the line of 13.5. What makes the pick particularly compelling is her performance against today's opponent, the Chicago Sky. This season, she's hit the over in both games, averaging 17 points. Looking back at last season, she hit the over 75% of her 4 matchups, averaging 16.5 points. While the Chicago Sky's defense against her position ranks 3rd in the league, indicating a strong defensive matchup, Charles has consistently demonstrated her ability to be able to perform against them. Her recent form and strong head-to-head history make this a high-confidence pick. Actually, I think Tina Charles could get busy against Cardosa and Angel Reese today as well. And then Chelsea Gray is the next player prop. Over her 13.5 points plus rebounds. Chelsea Gray has actually looked really good recently. I think that's why the Aces are playing so well. It took her a while to wake up, man. She looked like trash at the beginning of the season, but she has looked good. So analysis here on the 13.5 points plus rebounds. The over for Chelsea Gray. It says she's been stuffing the stat sheet, particularly with her combined points plus rebounds. She's exceeded the 13.5 line 80% of her last 5 games, averaging 14.8 points plus rebounds. Over her last 10, she's hit the over 70% of her games, averaging exactly 13.5. Her season-long hit rate on this prop is 62% to the over as well, averaging 14.86 points plus rebounds. The matchup against the Mystics also bodes well for Gray. This season, she's hit the over in 100% of her 3 games against the Mystics, averaging 19.3 points plus rebounds. While the Mystics defense against her position ranks 3rd in the league, Gray's recent surge and dominant performance in prior matchups against them suggests that she can overcome the tough defense. Her consistent ability to contribute across multiple categories makes this a solid pick. So Jackson likes Chelsea Gray over 13.5 points plus rebounds, and Tina Charles over her 13.5 points. So check Jackson out. Link is in the description. 50% sign up, 50% off your sign up if you're interested in checking Jackson out for whatever tier that you want to select as well. So that's that. Let's jump into it for today. So first game up we have is the Liberty and the Dream. So right as I'm like, I had already handicapped the game, but I'm like about to start the video and start recording, and Sabrina Ionescu gets ruled out for rest. And that's pretty telling, because I think Sandy Bardello, probably thinks that they are already going to lose this game. And the Liberty are gearing up for, what's going to come. Clearly, in my opinion, they don't really care too much about seeding, because in the last game, they lost to the Chicago Sky at home as a 13.5 point favorite 2 nights ago. On Friday, they losing that game pushed them all the way to 5th. So now Phoenix won last night. They beat the Valkyries, and they moved up to 4th. They are tied right now. And I'm not sure who owns the tiebreaker. I want to say the Mercury own the tiebreaker, but I could be wrong. Anyway, the Aces on their 9-game winning streak have jumped the Phoenix Mercury and the New York Liberty. So now it's crazy to think this is the lowest the Liberty been in the season, all the playoff, the standings all year. They are in 5th, and they probably won't win this game. I don't think that they're going to win this game. The bookmakers have moved this line now to 7. So my thought process on the game before I was handicapping it was just to take the Atlanta Dream minus the 4.5. There were still a couple 4.5s that were out there. Of course, that number is now gone. Is this a spot where, the Atlanta Dream potentially let up because they know that, the New York Liberty will be without Sabrina Ionescu, along with, Isabel Harrison, who's already out as well, and Nair Sabli, who's out, and now Stewie remains out as well. I wouldn't think so. Atlanta has been very solid, no matter who they played, no matter where they played. Jordan Canada is out for them, but it's just not a team you really want to bet against right now. Atlanta's 7-2-1 against the number in their last 10 games. They got a big win against the Lynx the other day. They do have a rematch with Vegas coming up, but that's not until the 27th. So they got, 3 more days off before they play against they get their rematch against the Aces, who the Aces have actually beat them twice in the last 2 meetings that they played. So both times this season. So I didn't want the Liberty in the first place. They got their revenge against the Lynx, and then they absolutely laid an egg. They lost their game to Chicago by 9 as a 15-point favorite. And they also just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games, 3-13-1 against the spread on the road. So, yeah, this was a dream spot for me in the first place. I think if I had to play anything right now, I'll probably look to it's even hard to take the Liberty team total because that's actually getting a little lower. But I do think that they struggle to manufacture some offense. Emma Mieseman, her sis prop probably is going to be something that's good. The problem with taking the Liberty, and this is why I think the Liberty team total under may be a good look, is because the Liberty like to shoot a lot of threes. Without Sabrina being there, their offense is going to take a big plunge downward. And the Dream are one of the best 3-point defenses in the WNBA. So, that's what keeps them in the game when they play against the Lynx. That's one of the reasons they beat the Lynx twice this season, because the Lynx like to shoot a lot of threes as well. And Liberty's offense runs a lot through Sabrina Ionescu. They don't have a backup point guard that's going to be able to come in there and fill a role. So as long as Atlanta don't play with their food, there should be maybe a Liberty team total under spot. Both of these teams are actually 7-2-1 to the under in their last 10 games as well. So I was looking towards, a team total under, or just taking the Dream minus the 4.5, 5. But now this number is crept up to 6.5, 7. So I don't really like it as much, but I mean, Dream should be able to get the job done. It should be a double-digit win. But we shall see. We'll see if they let down their guard in this game a little bit. Next game up is the Aces and the Mystics. So Aces actually in DC today. Time this game started. It started at 3. I'm just trying to see. I haven't got time to make it. Aces and Mystics line open. I want to say open 6.5, 7. I see some 7.5s out there. I see some 7s as well. Total, not really moving a lot. 160.5, 161 are available out there. So we look at the injury report. Aces is going to be pretty good to go. And then for the Washington Mystics, they will be without JC Shelton, who I don't even know. I don't think she's made her debut for the Mystics yet. So we got one of the hottest teams in the WNBA versus one of the coldest teams in the WNBA. The last time that these two teams played, the Mystics did win, but they did not. They did win the game, but they didn't cover the spread. They were actually laying 3 points as a home favorite because Asia Wilson didn't play in that game. So the Mystics, they won the game by like 1, I think it was. And of course, the Aces beat them in Vegas twice earlier this season, but the Mystics actually covered both of those games. So now, Mystics, I took them the other day, just their team total over in that first matchup against Connecticut, and they absolutely wet the bed. Back-to-back losses to the Connecticut Sun. I don't think it gets too much worse than that, even though you got to give Connecticut a little credit, which we will do in just a second. We talk about their game against Chicago, but in this matchup, you're looking at this Mystics team. Have they, kind of packed it in? They're 3-7 straight up in their last 10 games, and they were actually balling. They had won 3 or 4 games in a row, and then all of a sudden they run into Connecticut and can't score the basketball, which is kind of interesting. They also are playing their first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Seattle Storm coming into town tomorrow as well. It's a tough game because they have absolutely looked like trash, and the Aces look like the opposite. They're 7-2-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. hottest team in the WNBA. They've won 9 straight, 9 of their last 10. They're actually in third place, in the standings. They also sit just a game behind the Atlanta Dream. Atlanta is 6 games behind Minnesota. Vegas is 6.5 games behind Minnesota. So crazy to think that the Aces are playing that well. I can't play against the Aces right now. Like, I think they could win this game by double digits. I don't trust this Washington Mystics offense. They really struggled to score the basketball against Connecticut. And the Aces are just, absolutely on a tear, man. Like, no letdown spot. I know it's their first game on the East Coast, but they've been comfortably at the crib. So it's no major rest disadvantage or travel fatigue. Like, I can't bet against the Aces right now. So I would probably just play the Aces team total over. I think I looked at the Mystics team total. It's a little too low for me. I don't really want to take it that low, but I think the Aces will be able to score the basketball. If we look at the Aces' last 5 games, they've been one of the better offensive teams in the WNBA. Let's put some numbers to it real quick. I looked at this. I didn't write it down, though. Just didn't have time. Aces are... Aces are number 1 in offensive rating last 5 games. Number 2 in offensive rating last 10 games. 4th in defensive rating. They're plus 13.9 in net rating last 5 games, which is number 1 in the WNBA. They're averaging 86.4 points per game, which is 3rd in the WNBA. Getting to the free throw line a ton, shooting the 3rd most free throw attempts, protecting the basketball, 3rd fewest in turnover rate, 5th in offensive rebound rate, which is significant because Washington hasn't been that great of a rebounding team as of late. I just think that they're going to be able to score the basketball. They're also 2nd in points off turnovers, and the Mystics religiously turn the basketball over. They can't stop turning the ball over. They turned it over against Connecticut. So, if the Aces come in here, they should be able to win this game by double digits. I know it's saying a lot. You typically want to take the Mystics when they're getting a bunch of points like this, and not when they're in closely contested, tightly contested spread type games. But I'm not betting against the Aces right now. I don't care if they're playing at home, on the road, in Kansas, or I don't care where they're playing at. Like, I'm just taking the Aces, so I'm staying off of the game. Last game on the board is the Chicago Sky. They are at home, laying 2.5 points against the Connecticut Sun. First time all season, the Sky have been laying points at the crib. Total in this one is moving up, and I do agree with the movement going up. So if we look at the injury report real quick, Connecticut should have everybody available. In Chicago, Ariel Atkins and Angel Reese are both listed as probable. I think that they're both going to be out there today. Both of these teams actually playing some pretty good basketball. They both stink if you look at their full season record, right? Connecticut is the worst team in the WNBA at 8-27, and Chicago is 9-26. So we're talking about one game better. But recently, both teams have been actually hooping. Connecticut's coming up back-to-back wins against the Mystics, and Chicago went into to Brooklyn and stole one as a 13.5-point dog, a 15-point dog. Against the New York Liberty the other day, and they've covered all 3 games both games since Angel Reese returned. And they've covered both games since Angel Reese returned. So teams, they did split. Both games were played in Connecticut. Both games were under the total. The winning team has covered. So whoever it is that you like in this game, you can take them to win. Connecticut actually hooping right now, man. They've covered 7 of their last 10 spreads. They're only 2-15 straight up on the road, though. But they have covered 4 straight. The Connecticut Sun have. So putting it together, defensively, they look a little bit better recently as well. And Chicago, kind of hard to gauge Chicago because they're only 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. But like I said, they've covered both games since Angel Reese returned. And my thought process on this game, I have no idea who's going to win, who's going to cover. That part is a little bit scary for me trying to pick. I feel like an idiot if Connecticut won the game and if I bet on Chicago, which I'm never laying points with Chicago. But I don't really want to take Connecticut either. I think the way you play it, though, is you just take the over or potentially a Connecticut team total over. Connecticut, not that they're a great offensive team. They're 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. 4 of their last 5 have actually stayed under the total. But I feel like they've been playing against other slow teams. Like the Mystics aren't a fast-paced team at all. Chicago, with Angel Reese on the floor, is a fast-paced team, though. Chicago's actually played in 3 straight overs. Shout out to Angel Reese. But defensively, with Angel Reese on the floor or off the floor, they're not great. They've given up 90 to the Valkyries. They gave up 95 to the Storm. And then they gave up 85 to the Liberty, even though they end up winning that game. The pace with Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins has just been great. They play a lot faster. Their defense is not good. either way, the numbers back that up as well. With Angel Reese on the floor, this Chicago Sky defensive rating is a 113, and without Angel Reese on the floor, it's a 107. So the defense gets better without Angel Reese, and it's probably because they play so much slower. The offense, of course, gets absolutely worse without Angel Reese on the floor. So you look at Chicago, they allow 86 points per game in Chicago. This is the worst home defense in the WNBA. They've given up 79 or more in 3 straight games and 9 of their last 11 home games. So I think Connecticut, even though their offense does struggle, you can see it here. They're the worst offense in the WNBA. I think the game goes over. I think Connecticut is able to score the basketball, get up and over. Their team total is 78.5. So those are the ways that I kind of think about today's game. I think I won't even put anything for that first one just because of the injury news. But I think if I had to make 2 bets today, I think I would just go with the team totals. I think 2 overs today. I think the Aces can get to 90 against this Washington Mystics team. So 83.5 does feel like a little bit of a bargain. And I think Connecticut, like everybody else, will be able to go in Chicago and play a fast-paced game. Not a lot of defense from either team. Even though Connecticut's defense has been a little bit better recently, I think that they can get to 80 points today as well. So if I'm betting today, Liberty and Dream game out, I do think the Dream should be able to win and still cover that number at 6.5, 7.5. But these would be the 2 ways that I would bet, man. Best of luck on your action. Check the resources out if you guys are interested. Linked all in the description of the video. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not. Turn the notification bell on. Enjoy your Saturday. And I'll catch you guys back tomorrow. Probably go live tomorrow. I haven't been live all week. Just been a crazy, crazy week. Got a lot of other things going on in life. But probably go live tomorrow about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the 2 Sunday games. And one of them, I think I'm going to end up playing today because I think it's a little bit of value on one of these lines for tomorrow. So catch you guys later, man. Like I said, enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your Saturday. Catch you guys tomorrow.